Hello, everyone, and welcome to Club 38, where the bar is always stocked and the playlist never disappoints. As always, I am Allie Gal, and unfortunately, as you can see, Kate Gaming is still not here. She is out on leave still for quite a while, and then our other new co-host, Celiac Sarah, is also not here. But I am lucky to be graced with a better co-host than Bones, and a voice that you just really want to serenade you. Egnards.
You stumbled on my name, and I think that's because you had to try for that compliment. Like it was a forced compliment, but I'm still going to allow it.
I did not stumble on that one.
On the bright side, you're good for another 4 years now.
I am. I'm going to ride that high for quite some time.
To be fair, I compliment you a lot when you come on the show.
No, I'm just trying to get my new parade out there, my new social justice warrioring out there. Us straight white men, we need. I'm just kidding. I can't even do that with a straight face.
And then also tonight we are joined by the one, the only Calvin Awesome.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on the show, Calvin. I've been trying to get you on for a while, and of course, Egnards. It's always great when I could get you on. Thankfully, your wife went out of town for the night.
Yeah, it was impromptu. It was definitely work related. She tells me, so hopefully.
But if you're not in the Discord, make sure you go check out everything Club 38. In the link tree, go to Club 38, and there is the Discord. Grab the Club 38 role. In there, we have a podcast questions. Feel free to answer questions or ask questions from anything. Swaggo, personal life, whatever. We love those questions. You could also be notified of whenever we go live, whenever I go live, or whenever Kate goes live. So make sure you grab that role and join the show. Also in there is the Twitch for Kate, myself, my YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, and Spotify. And we also have merch in there now too. So go check out all those roles. Again, that's Linktree/Club38. Calvin, since you're going to be a little bit longer, since you are newer, we will head over to Egg. Egg, do you want to introduce yourself?
My name is Egnards. My Twitch, as you all know, is twitch.tv/bigboat777. Pay no mind to the fact that he looks slightly different than I actually do. It is me. I trust me. I promise you it's me. I'm not playing any dirty tricks.
It's AI.
It's AI. It's an AI version of me so that I can stream while I'm working. And that's it. If you don't know who I am, I'm the other math guy. I can't say the math guy because I know Calvin does a lot of math stuff too, and has been probably doing it longer than I have. I'm the Timu Calvin here.
All right.
You can be the Timu Calvin when you have less R10 Gungans than I do, which I think at this point is going to be very difficult.
I am a world first on those R10 Gungans.
You are.
We are going to do R11. We're going to do R12, and even if it destroys my roster, I don't care.
And then, of course, we have Calvin. Go ahead, pimp out your stuff. We always ask newer people on the show to give an explanation of their rosters, what their GP is sitting at. If you have any passion projects, go ahead and introduce yourself, everything you do.
Yeah, no, so I'm Calvin Awesome. You can find me on YouTube under exactly that, Calvin Awesome, or on Twitch, Calvin_Awesome. Currently just streaming a lot of my GACs. As far as my roster goes, I've been playing the game for far too long. It used to be really relevant to mention that I was free to play for the longest time, and after a while it just got really annoying because I now have a 14 million roster, and that's just kind of more proof that I've been playing for 8 years now. Yeah, 8 years now, rather than anything else. So I mean, passion projects would be Gungans, but I mean, even then, not really, because they were really good at R9 in the raid, and I have not finished R10ing them all. Other than that, like, yeah, that's me.
I just totally got the name of this episode, and I just changed the Twitch to match it.
You're welcome.
Episode
welcome.
31, the one with the Gungan men.
Sounds kind of sexual. It's all right. I'm here for it.
Maybe. So yeah, that's Kelvin Awesome, CalvinAwesome for anybody listening and not watching. And also Egnards, Egnards / or Big Boat 777.
I was gonna say you're doing a lot more to pimp my shit out than I am.
I was gonna Big Boat 777. So yeah, make sure you go check these guys out. Give them both a follow. Give them both a sub. Like anything, whatever floats your boat, whichever you, whether you're Twitch or YouTube, go check them out. These are your two smart guys here. They put out all the videos. I just like reference them a lot because it's like, oh yeah, you know, mathematically, Calvin says this works there.
But does our math always add up? That's the question. Have you ever checked Calvin's math versus my math and noticed a discrepancy?
No.
Because you could pit us against each other.
A lot of people do.
I don't. I just take it for face value because I know you guys are better at the math than me.
I don't think we often get the math wrong. I think there might be some like blind spots that the math doesn't necessarily take into account.
It tends to happen, right? And then you put out a video, and then 4 people say something, and you go, "Oh, right, I didn't actually consider that shit." Well, I'm not re-recording it, so I guess you're right. I'll keep that in mind for next time.
Oh, and it's like one person says it, and you're like, "Oh, that's not a big deal." Like, I don't know why you would say that. And then 2 people say it, and you're like, "Oh, okay." And then 3, and then 4, and then you're like, "Okay, I messed up."
I messed up. I screwed something up there, but it's all right. You know what? We're not perfect.
You're watching my video. I'm not perfect. I'm human. Sorry. You know you're gonna be back for more math help anyway, so whatever.
They always are. They always are.
So let's move on to, well, everybody's favorite subject, GAC. Calvin, how'd you do in 3 so far?
Overall, like for the whole month, is that what we're going for?
Yeah, so far in 3v3.
That'll probably make me look better. Yeah, so I did poorly. I guess I was sick this last week, but I mean, you can still play GAC sick. I really struggled, and I'm actually glad that the rest of the errors are not going in this direction. But this last week, with just having 5 new enemy teams to take out, which I guess I can complain and harp some more here. I was at a conference on Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday. So I didn't even get to lock in with my like 2-starred versions of all of these characters from the last era. So I was just completely raw dogging it against everyone else. And man, 5 or 6 of these teams were just really, really good. And even if they're not good, I didn't know how to handle them. So I butchered it this last week. But I think the other 2 weeks I did okay-ish.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I went 3 and 3 for 2 weeks.
I want to piggyback on that and just say, because I've been a big proponent of this, and I really hate that I haven't heard enough people say this, that 3-hour window to mod all of these characters, set all of those characters, relic all of those characters, it blows. And I think that the way eras work, it's not going to be that day every time. I think somebody did the math, not me, where this era ends during Hell Week, so it won't be an issue for this next era. I didn't do that myself. I can't verify that. But CG needs to do something about this idea of that 3-hour window, because like you were at a conference. Great, fine. That's not normal. Like that's a work day, whatever. I was at work, right? Great, fine,
Mm-hmm.
normal. Half of the world is asleep, and it
Yeah.
sucks for them so much. I actually had off that day. Like I got out of work at 2:33. I normally work late on Tuesdays. I spent that entire time at my computer and still just barely got under the wire getting all of my mods and everything set up, and it was not fun at all.
Yeah, I feel like they used to do it intentionally, prior to eras, just to get people to make sure they spend really quickly to be able to
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
get out. But yeah, now that it's just like 6 characters loaded, the one thing that will be nice about upcoming ones is it's going to be locked to like 1 or 2 teams, and I'm not going to.
Yep.
I mean, I was literally out like 6 or 7 teams this time, but that it'll be 2 next time, so that'll be a lot
And
better.
I mean,
I
let's
think that'll
be
be. I think
the
that'll be more customary too.
the old cadence where it was only one character at a time. That was completely fine. You only got a mod. You got to do whatever for one character. This is literally they drop six, 7 people in your roster.
Yes, it was a huge like previously if I wanted to use a marquee, and I don't generally whale on characters until very recently. But if I wanted to use a character, I could go take a bathroom break and I can mod them in 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Like that's not a big deal. When you have to do 7 characters across all of these different teams and figure them out, and you have to do that without really any testing as well, because you can't look at Arnold's stream. You can't like do testing yourself. These characters weren't available to you during this time. You're going in blind on those mods. Even the sets that maybe you prepared ahead of time, they might be good, but they also might be the worst thing in the world because you've never played with this character before.
I'm just leveling them up too. Like it took me, I don't know. I feel like it took me 20 minutes just to actually level them up and put zetas on them and stuff like that, just to
Mhm.
like over there clicking the button over and over again.
I think what we need to do is normalize the fact, and they did this with like Purge and they did this with Inquisitors. We have gotten past, especially with eras now and them trying to get characters to like right before the Zeta level for a free to play player. Let's just normalize 2 level ups, right? Like level 1, level 2, level 3 of an ability. We don't need all of that in between crap anymore. It's time consuming. It's a pain in the ass. And they need to give us ways to say, hey, you want to go from relic 2 to relic 8? Great. We're going to do that in one click instead of watching this stupid animation for 8 seconds for every single relic level that you're doing.
Oh, the slider. Yeah, have like a slider bar.
Mm-hmm. How about before I ask that question, I was working that day. I got home and I had 3 minutes to log on to the game before GAC lock. So I literally got on, took them all to Relic 2 because that was as far as I could go with them, and locked. That was all I could do. No mods, no nothing. Just there we go.
I was playing against people that had Maul at like relic 7, but no mods on him. Just because that was either they forgot or they just didn't have time. And it was just a stressful time period. And I know, yes, next time it'll be 2 teams versus 7 characters across, 7 different teams. But it's not it's a game. And people shouldn't have to disrupt their workday. They
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't have to wake up in the middle of the night. Everything else in this game exists on a 24-hour timer for a reason, because of time zones, because of the way the world works. And saying, hey, 3 hours, good luck. It was a big L for me. Like I was not a fan of that day.
No, how about you, Egg? How did your GACs go?
My GC, I didn't do the worst. I went 4 for 5, which is a losing record. It's not great, but it still keeps me around that 50% rate. I just got relegated back to Kyber 2, but that's basically where I sit, is on the border of Kyber 1 and Kyber 2, where I go up, I go down, and whoever knows. I think that a lot more of my losses had less to do with the era and more to do with the current DC set. And I've been a
Mm-hmm.
big proponent of saying that I really hate this free set because everybody's DCs are perfect. And if you look at .gg and you look at insights, there are a lot of teams that the highest win rate is like 70%. There's just so much extra RNG involved with how strong this set is that I haven't found it fun, and I'm very excited for when they dust and we go back to kind of that normal cadence of players like me having some, and players that are whales, I'm just not experiencing them because they're way ahead of me.
Yeah, I think I dropped 3 battles, so that would put me at 6-3.
Look at you with your winning record.
I go really long with wins, and then I go really long with losses. So I have a big loss streak coming up, and I know it's coming, and it's going to be really irritating when it happens. But
it sucks, right? Because when you have that 7 win streak, you have all these crystals and you use them.
Yep.
And then you have a 6 lose streak and you have no crystals, and you go, oh shit, what do I can't buy anything.
So it is going to be rough. And it's going to be, I hate when it happens, because it's just like, especially as a content creator, like I'm sure you guys could like back me up on this. When you're streaming and you take a L, you're like, oh man, I look bad now.
I think it's more of a Calvin question, just because I know that's his main thing, right? Is streaming GAC. I very rarely stream my GAC. So if I do, it's more of a scribe situation where I'm drunk and going, we lose, who cares?
Scribe being synonymous with drunk.
It's just his Friday night drunk stream.
Yeah,
and if I'm streaming GAC, that's what it is. It's I'm having whiskey and we're gonna try things, and people will pop in and be like, "Why did you do that?" And I'll be like, "Because I don't care. I don't know."
I do a little bit better when I go on the lose streaks, because then I start to kind of get into it, and it starts to become kind of fun. Where we do like internal challenges and stuff. My like bad attitudes, or why I have to like to apologize to the chat for being like a little pouty boy, is when I'm winning a lot and all of a sudden I feel like I just get robbed. Like those are the feel bad where I think where I feel like I look bad. When I'm just like losing, I'm like, all right, let's do what we can here.
Isn't it the worst when like, and this happens to me a lot in GAC streaming or otherwise, where I will win all of the hard battles.
Yes.
All right. Like that, every hard battle I'll get 1 in, and then I'll do like an easier battle that has a 95% win rate that nobody should lose, and I'll lose there. And I'll lose my GAC on like Tarkin Scorch instead of Rey.
Oh, so this was me. I think this was sometime this last season. I was making fun of this guy for putting CLS on defense and Kyber 1 or whatever. And especially like it didn't have like one of the super datacrons on it or anything. And I go to use Iden, like a 98% counter. The stupid thing, without evasion mastery, dodges the initial hit, and the whole thing just goes down the drain. I was so mad.
Oh man!
And then you lose the GAC match.
Yep.
It happens to me more often than not, where that is, I'll be so excited. I'll do half of my GAC at night, and I'll be like, all right, I'm in a good position to win this. And then I'll wake up the next morning and do the other half, and all of the easy matches just shit the bed.
See, I always start with the hard ones. Always. It's just if I'm gonna lose these battles, and I know there's no chance in winning, I just want it to be out in the open. Plus, I don't want to run into something and then those counters be gone. So it was round 1. God, Friday night. No, Saturday morning I did it. I was on stream going up against Ray. It was my first match. It's like, okay, sear it. I do pretty well with it. I could get it like a little more than half the time. I can knock it right out with sear. So I was like, all right, it drops. Well, I'm gonna Bane it. Bane has a high win percentage. He drops. Then I'm like, okay, screw this. I'm going in with SLKR.
Yep.
And then he drops, and I'm like, well, I got a Hondo there. I got a Glat here. I can't. I'm screwed.
I had one, I think it was last season. It was either last season or the season before it. I don't remember the exact matchup, but I tried it 3 different counters that all had like a 95% win rate. They all dropped. And then I tried, I was like, this is the only way that I can still full clear. Let me try this like 25% stupid counter and it wins. Like full on easy, no problems, nothing at all, no complications. And I'm like, this should not happen all at all. But it does sometimes. And right now it's happening a lot more because of the current DCs, and I'm so excited for them to be gone.
What about your thoughts on all that, Cal? Like the DCs? What are your thoughts on all this?
I I had mixed feelings on the current DC situation. On one hand, I think it was incredibly unfair to spenders. The fact that they
Yeah.
essentially got the playing field completely leveled and no refunds in sight.
Yeah.
Like my datacrons are as good as the Krakens are, or my datacrons from Pillars of War are as good as the Krakens are right now. On the other hand, my datacrons are as good as the Krakens are right now. So that has been a little bit of fun for me. The only discouraging part is the fact that I'm still not on board, and I haven't put a lot of thought into it. So maybe I need to do more. I'm still not really on board with the 1 month Datacron rollover. I really liked the 2 month at a time, because what that did is it made every single season of GAC unique. Because every single first 3v3 or then followed by the 5v5 had a different combination. Every single one was changing because we had 2 different ones at the same, or one changing at every single time. Now I feel like it's just going to require so much more thought process. I'm going to have to be constantly keeping track of 3 different things and what's best where. Yeah, I don't know if I'm super happy about where it's going, but
And now, if you remember, this is where it was in the beginning. It was 1 month Datacrons, and people did not engage with it. Now, farming Datacrons was different at that point, so maybe people will engage with it more now than they did back then. But I'm not looking forward to it. I know the big spenders that I talk with and I help with the game, like they're not looking forward to it. It's just a lot of extra information. And when the time commitment in the game is already as high as it is, now adding to my time commitment for the game, but outside of the game, just it's frustrating. It's very frustrating.
it's a mental. I
I'm
have to keep track of this.
Yeah.
I'm really curious as to why they changed the cadence for all this. Like I understand I don't agree with a lot that they do, but I could see the thought process behind it. The era battles. I get the thought again. I think it's dumb. I don't agree with it, but I could get the whole thought process behind it. I don't see why they have to touch focus Datacrons at all. Everything was good. Again, we're going back to what it was. Why are we going back? There are so many aspects with the new era system and Conquest and TW that you guys could be looking into. Why are we touching Datacrons?
It really feels like a developer looked at it and was like, "Oh, that doesn't really make sense. Let me just fiddle with it." Like it, and that seems to be. I made comments about this in my stream too, and I guess to your point, Ali, almost all the stuff that they've been doing, I kind of get. Like I know that it was received really poorly initially, but I kind of understand Relic Delta. Like there was not a really big motivation to hire up on your relics and your characters, and for a game that's all about progression, that's a problem. So even though we can sit here and talk about execution all I want, but at the end of the day, I understand why they did it. There's been a few things that they've done recently about pre-existing systems that I'm like, why are we touching this? Like, this seems like not the best use of time.
I think the big problem with CG is the channels in which they communicate, right? So like Relic Delta is a really great example. I agree with you. I think that Relic Delta has pushed us to push our relic levels and push towards Relic 9 and Relic 10, and it makes sense to always increase your Relic levels because 5 mastery alone is not worth it. But the way that they communicated it and the way that they kind of told, some of the creators and bigger players, they kind of left it to us to be the ones to communicate it and then let the community flip out before releasing their fireside chat 3 weeks later. And the fireside chat was very much techno mumbo jumbo and not really like an explanation that the majority of players could understand. That's just one example of how a lot of the things that they do aren't necessarily bad. It's just the way that they go about doing these things without informing the players beforehand. Another example is the eras. Halfway through Era of Anniversaries is when they said, oh, by the way, you need level 85 to get Maul, which means, you have to spend money, and that was after people had already spent half of the money or crystals. And while most people don't have 125,000 crystals to spend, so presumably the majority of people did spend money already, it was kind of a shit decision to say halfway through the era, hey, by the way, this thing, no big deal, right? Who cares? It's the communication that is lacking.
Plus, I mean, if we're gonna go off that, how about the communication with like Maul in general? Nobody knew about that. It's just when he was dropped, it was, oh yeah, here.
Yeah, January was honestly pretty bad. I remember saying that in my guild chat. I think it was after Egnards. I think it was actually after the mall thing where we discovered what the actual cost was going to be. I was like, what have we been doing? Like, or no, it might have been when like FTCs got canceled for that one month. I'm like, what are we doing? Like, this is, I actually would probably argue that CG over communicates sometimes, but something happened at the beginning of this year that I'm like, what are we like? Are you guys all on vacation again, or?
Sometimes they do give us more information than we need. I would say that, but I would, Meathead ends up giving us a lot of information through the event server, and I just don't think it's fair for a lot of the information to come through an unofficial server, an unofficial official server. When you think about the player base of 400,000 people, right, and how many people are actually on that event server, you're looking at 30,000, 40,000 people. It's not a lot of people. This is one of the few games I play stupid Asian gotcha games that are just carbon copies of other stupid Asian gotcha games. And those games have ways to communicate in game and have patch notes put into game without having to do an update. And CG does not effectively give everybody in the game ecosphere the information. They just kind of throw it in all of these random places. And there's the very, very small minority of players who are astute enough to piece together everything. And I don't think that it's fair.
No, I'm with you there. And I am really curious because I enjoy doing this podcast on a Tuesday night because generally all the breaking news comes today.
Sometimes, right? We didn't get any today, I don't think, did we?
No, we didn't. But generally,
so it'll be tomorrow, right?
When the Era battles came out and Relic Delta and everything, that was all on a Tuesday. So Club 30, it was all dropped, and then me and Kate are just like, oh my god, this is...
You're the first ones on the job.
Yeah, like, we're the first ones here. So we're the ones that are talking about it when the news drops, and it's nice to have that. And it seems like Meathead has kind of changed all that. One, it seems like it's all being dropped on a Wednesday now. And two, like, outside of, I think he did one update, I haven't seen much since then.
No, but he does post a lot in the event server, and little tidbits get put on the event server. But then, the other example is when it comes to the era battles, with everybody assuming that there's going to be 12 instances of era battles. It took Scribe and I talking to Meathead personally and then pinging our Discord communities to say, hey, by the way, Meathead told us this thing and he gave us permission to share it. So now the general player doesn't realize that the era battles upcoming aren't 12 and 12, they're 6 and 6. So there are going to be people doing the math for themselves on 12 and 12 and saying, oh, this makes sense to go to tier 8. And they're going to get screwed because there's no official cadence change that says, by the way, era battles are now 6 and 6, or this era battle is in 6 and 6. And it's kind of crap that it's all unofficial information.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think this is something that needs to be dealt with. And again, I'm not one to jump down Meathead's throat. Like I am very much
it's not a hit problem.
I
love Meathead.
I love him. Don't ever jump down Meathead's throat, guys. But damn, does CG need to fix this?
It is a CG communication funnel problem, not a Meathead problem. He just gives us what he's allowed to give us. I understand that.
I mean, this has been true since the beginning of the game. I mean, Egnards, you know as well as I do. This used to be a problem with Reddit. Like they used to get in trouble for the same exact thing, posting like official comments on Reddit rather than on their own actual forum. So I don't know why they don't, and maybe they don't realize it because they're on that side of things. But all they would really have to do is the second that it gets exposed on events or through Scribe or however, just make an official forum posting 20 minutes later. Like, as long as everybody has access to the information, it doesn't really matter how it got there.
Yeah, and he's done that. I mean, there are official forum posts from Meathead that are updates to things specifically because I had a conversation with him. And I am sure that there are other forum posts because other people had conversations with him.
Mm-hmm.
But I can think of at least 3 posts that he had to make because I had a conversation with him. He clarified information and I said to him, people need to know this or they are going to flip out when they find out after it happens, right? Like there needs to be a funnel that addresses these things. And this is why, the beta program was limited, but this is why, like, even when we were doing the Relic Delta beta program, the Relic Delta post, the fireside chat, it was posted to us like 6 hours ahead of time. And that gave guys like Scribe who, when it gets posted at 2 p.m. my time, Scribe, it's night, so he can actually look at it. I can't read it ahead of time. I'm at work. It gives them time to talk to Meathead or to talk to the other developers and say, hey, this sentence, does this mean what I think it means? Should it be changed? Can it be clarified? Do we need an extra thing here? So that the actual information that is important for everyone to hear is there.
Yeah, I complete agreement there. How about we get off this like somber topic a little bit?
It's fine. The whiskey's kicking in. We're good.
Hey, how is everyone's Conquest going? Calvin?
I'm currently in Sector 3. I'm trying to just do the 50s this time and kind of see where that gets me. I probably should though, just because this is the one where all the FTCs are going to be, and those seem to be a pretty big slam dunk. I guess we're going to pay compliments. I really do enjoy the fact that all the FTCs are not gated all the way up to Relic 6. They're still at like the really low gear levels, which is really nice for me because again, all of my new characters are Relic 2, so I can, in a limited way, I can still interact with these.
It's interesting because like I'm doing the same thing with Conquest. I always do the 50s. I'm in Sector 3. I usually finish a sector a day. So Friday I'll be in Sector 5, and then I just use the DC nodes to finish up anything that I need to finish up. But even though I have all of the characters at 7 stars, and I exist on like that K1 border, I think that this overpowered DC set has made people think that the DC application rate is higher than it actually is. Right now, everybody has a DC on every single character. When that dusts, I think that we're going to see a lot of people not investing as much because of the increased cadence. And I'm just not worried about these FTCs for that reason. I'm going to get the mall one because I have a Relic 10 mall. But other than that, I'm not really going to interact with the DCs on the same meaningful level that I used to.
I'm going for the mall one just because I have the Relic 10 Stranger. I could use
Yeah,
that
beyond
elsewhere.
that, I think that
You guys
it,
in
you
your
know,
fun relic tens.
what's that?
I said y'all on your fun relic tens.
Hey, you know what?
Well,
Unlike some people who we're not going to name, I took my 2 flagship characters to Relic 10. Leia and Stranger are at 10.
yeah, I took mine
Yeah,
too,
way
and
better.
that's 5 of them, and it is what it is, and I'm very open. I'm very open about the fact that I am not a whale, but my account is now a whale account, right?
Yep.
I don't spend my money; I spend other people's money because they, for some reason, get joy in me having things, and I'm not going to tell them not to.
That's what they're there for,
So
right?
that's what they're there for. So I am not a whale, but my account is now a whale account, and it is what it is.
How about you, Kat? If you have a flagship character, which I'm assuming is Gungans,
Oh,
um,
it's fair.
is your flagship character R10?
Yes, he was my very first R10 right out the gate.
See?
Because he knows what he's supposed to be doing, right? Calvin understands he is a content creator. He has a brand. People know him for his brand, and he has to stay on brand. He understands the social contract between his viewers, his brand, and the game. Some people don't understand that.
Yeah. Again, Stranger and Leia are at 10 for me. I'm good. I even took Drogon up to 9. He was at 7 when recently. I took him up to 9. I took Leia to 10. Like, I put some serious work into that team. As soon as I
The Drogon to 9 is it's a
I,
pretty good idea because everyone's gonna be relic 10ing their Ezra.
Yep.
I took
I had to bring my Drogon to 9 because of that.
I took Starkiller up to 8. I took that team's going to be going up soon too, because as soon as I finish up the Leia team, I'm focusing on the Stranger, and that team's going to go up. And as soon as I can finish Maul and get his, get him to 7 stars, because mine's sitting at 4. He'll be going up too.
So now this is my podcast or anything, but I'm curious now. This can be for both of you. What do you think is one relic or higher relic character that people are sleeping on? It doesn't have to be relic 10 or even relic 9. But like, what character do you think people are leaving at, say, relic 5 that really should be 7, or leaving at 7 that really should be 8?
Ooh, okay.
Oh man, I'm glad I have my game up right now, right? Because like I have my 5 characters that I can think of off the top of my head. I'm gonna say that Malicos is usually a relic 8 for people.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say he's a strong relic 10 because there isn't really right now. There's 4 or 5 characters that are like major relic 10s, but he's a character that I think that puts in a lot of work and I think deserves a relic 9 or a relic 10 for most people. He normally stops at 7 or 8 for a lot of people, and I think it's a mistake.
I think a good argument in defense of him as well is the 2 popular GLs that he kills really easily, Hondo and Ray, are also ones that everyone's taking to relic 10. So if you're really trying not to get delted 3 relics away, that I can see that.
And he's a fun
So
character to play.
I want to say Treya. Her team,
Oh,
brought
oh.
her team is just so good, and I could tell you what, I could counter a lot of things with her. Like, I'll take out a good relic 8, relic 9. Like, I'll take out a really good, strong Gungan team with her. And mine's at 5.
My Gungans stop Treya teams sometimes.
Our Gungans.
Well, I'm sorry. Okay, fine. Our Gungans, but my Relic 10 Gungans. I've seen Treya get stopped. I've seen JML get stopped. I've seen BKM get stopped. It's just super, super fun once they're a Relic 10.
Well, mine's at
But
relic
I
5.
brought my Treya to 8. So,
I was gonna say,
yeah.
mine's at 5, and she's punching up hard.
Not against our Gungans. We put work into our Gungans.
Are you paying Kelvin his child support here, Egg?
I should. I should if it'll get him his Gungans faster.
Hey, the attacker cron did a lot for my Gungans. I did, and I have before with like Gungan cron and whatnot stop Treya, but no, Treya is a really good call out actually, and I would actually even do I would say the reverse alley defensively. Most people are not ready for what a full R8 Treya team can
Mm-hmm.
do. I think it was last 5v5. Everybody is so used to seeing Treya on defense and just throwing C. You don't C doesn't kill Relic 8, Talon, Treya, and Savage, like, or at least alone. He will with friends. But if they try to solo, there's just way too much DPS.
Yeah. And honestly, I don't know why anybody has put in a Sith team on defense right now. Because Maz is a super easy counter to any Sith team.
Everybody kept putting Moss on defense. This
A lot
is
of
my
people put
last
Maz on
5v5.
defense. Yeah.
I got mine on offense. Just because people set Sith teams. So it's like, why am I putting...
I'm gonna check how many times Moz hit my Treya team on defense last GAC.
I see a lot of Maz on defense, and then you throw the JML at it. I saw not C. I saw Treya on defense once or twice last set, but I mean, I brought mine up to R8 too, just because of Relic Delta, because of the reliability of that counter for like quad mate teams or even for Gungan teams, or them being such a Swiss Army knife in your roster. You need them to be high up. Oh, there's Shadow.
There's
I was
Shadow.
waiting for him. There he is.
Yeah.
I'm going to start calling you guys Calguards.
Calguards.
Calnards?
Okay, Calnards.
Calnards,
All right. I was
okay.
like, Calguards.
Calnards?
But what about Egvin?
Egvin's more of our Sith side, I think. For what it's worth, on Insight, Maz has killed my Treya 3 times out of 84 battles, so
Ooh.
I think I can live with that for now.
That's a good
There's Shadow.
And that's what she's there for. She's there for Sith.
Well, a lot of people are using her for LV, right? And it's just not as reliable in this current DC set. Unless you throw, I've seen her put in work with like SM33 against Attacker Cron. But it's still, when you look at insights, it's like 50% versus the more reliable pre-Attacker Cron.
Yeah, they really put that counter on a swivel when they made it specifically damage against Sith, and not just if there's a Sith on the enemy team, you get damage, because getting past Scorch has been a pain sometimes.
Yes.
Mhm.
It's just so slow. So slow.
See, I always took her as one of those defensive teams that you could put out there, and Bane can't take it.
That was really funny to see for 1 week.
That's,
Bane solves all normal problems, not this one.
Yeah,
There's
that was kind of like my take on it when it first came out, and Kate and I were reading the kit. It's like, oh, this is a Bane counter. Just toss it on defense, and there's your Bane solution.
Well, Bane's another one of those Swiss Army knives, right? Where like it's one of those teams where when I play my GACs, I don't know how you guys do it, but I always want to open up the bottom wall first, but I'm always playing the specific counters first. Right? Like, all right, this character always goes against that character because it really doesn't have another use. And once I get past those things, I'm trying to avoid using my Treya. I'm trying to avoid using my SLKR. I'm trying to avoid using my Bane until I know everything on the board. Because those are like my get out of jail free cards a lot of the time.
See, I try to save like 1 or 2 GLs. Generally, it's like JMK or something. Bane, I end up having to use against, like, I don't know. Lately, it's been Lord Vader. He's having to take out Lord Vader for me.
It's been working for me, except some sneaky little bitch in my last round who I messaged him and congratulated him. he did LV with support cron, and I didn't even pay attention because everybody does attacker cron. Bane does not work against LV with support cron because they just keep getting their bonus protection and you do 0 damage to it. And I lost the match because of it, but I thought it was the funniest thing in the world.
Have you been running into that issue, Calvin?
I was actually going to say I ran into that one time, and it actually opened up Maz even more. So that's what I ended up doing.
Well, I didn't even pay attention. I saw it was a level 8 cron, and I was like, oh, it must be attacker. Use Bane. And then after the battle, I was like, why didn't this? Oh, it was support cron. I haven't seen that before.
It's probably when it was bugged too, and you weren't actually dispelling it.
You know, I'm curious how good that these metas with like the new teams, because I was looking at Discord and being an MC3, like there's a couple of people in Kyber 1. So I was seeing how many holds like this Stormtrooper loot got. And I give it maybe another GAC or two before everybody figures it out. And then it's just going to fall to the wayside.
Yeah, some of them will come out stronger than others. There was the Vader one. I was able to beat it with Bad Bash, like the new Bad Bash. But it took me a while to figure that out, so that sucked.
Who did I use? I think Zavor is in chat, and he told me to use Radis against that.
I tried.
I tried it, and I got down to Vader only. And Vader, it was a Relic 9 Vader. He was just doing so much self-healing that I could not take him down. I was like, wow, this is a great character. But it pissed me off.
I couldn't get the timing right. And then Vader, I don't know his kit well enough, so I'm sure there was something in there. But Vader one shot at Rad.
Yeah,
with his AOE after a certain amount of time.
it was a rough match, and it's right when we talk about like Coliseum, and you don't really learn the kits, or at least we didn't learn the kits with this one because half of their kits were irrelevant to the teams you were using. And then having to go in and learn 7 kits in one day and go, oh, I got to figure out what 7 kits do.
Okay, I got a question for both of you. I got this last week. I got this last couple weeks since the kits got revealed. There have been actually mixed reactions on this one. What are your guys' thoughts on the fact that we actually get to see a team being used here instead of just the 6 different people?
Miscellaneous bunch.
Do you mean like so far from what we've seen, or just in general in the era overall?
So far, we actually get to see like an actual team get used. In the last era, it was just 7 different people. Like there was no rhyme or reason to it. Like you were just picking IG90 as your leader because you wanted the contract. So that way you do more damage. That was it. That was the only only thing you could even try. So with this having the actual team, like you have a leader, you get to see some of their kit now. What are your guys like? Do you prefer this? Do you prefer the 6 random lifters? What are your guys' thoughts on the era battle now?
Calvin, you want to go first, or because I have a lot of thoughts.
No, I was gonna say I definitely like it for multiple reasons. The one that I already said is that we don't even when the turnaround does happen, even if it is during like Hell Week or something like that, it'll just be much nicer to adjust to 2 new teams rather than 6. Like I think that's probably annoying for really both parties, whether you have the characters or you're just going up against them. And then I think it's better in the era overall to get to know a team in its proper context rather than the forced synergy of just giving everyone all the tags. Because you can only really learn so much when they did it that way. It was always frustrating when I would go into, is it the era battle? Is that what they're called? Oh, era challenge. And all of a sudden the synergy that they had before no longer existed. So it kind of felt like everything that I learned was not very fruitful. But I mean, on the other hand, I liked all the characters that we got. Like I don't want to get rid of any of them. And I think more often than not, we need like little plug-in lifters than we just need brand spanking new teams. So there's
Yeah.
mostly pros to the new set, but that's one con, I guess.
So when it comes to Coliseum, well, when it comes to the teams and learning the kits, I agree, but then I look at like how Coliseum is laid out, even with the new kits, and you still kind of get frustrated. So, for example, our first character is Clea, right? Or is that her name, Clea, Clevo, whatever it is?
Clea.
She's not a leader. Our first character is not a leader, and you're doing this without a leader ability, which is kind of annoying. The second thing here is you get a bunch of summons, and those summons never increase in their ability level. So in these first 2 weeks, I'm relying entirely on her kit. Saw never gets really stronger. Pow's abilities never get stronger. And then you look at things like undermanned or undermined or whatever the new.
The Coliseum for the level ups?
Well,
Because
I'm talking about Coliseum in the context of the new team and how you learn these new teams. But my point is, like, when we talk about the new character and it's the undermined buff, right? Like right now, using that middle special ability is useless. It's pointless. It does nothing. It's a waste to your character. The enemies don't lose TM. I think that one big problem with Coliseum is that a lot of the kits that we fight with are just not applicable to the Coliseum game mode. And you're just kind of like guessing and checking based on like 50 to 60% of what a kit is. And I really wish that Coliseum was really designed less around these are really strong bosses, figure them out, and more around this is designed to help you learn the kits and how they're supposed to interact together. Because it's counterintuitive to say, oh, don't use this ability, since the boss is never going to be affected by that ability. Whereas I want to learn how to strategize with the team. So is it better? I do think it is better because it was stupid to have to like have everybody have all of the tags, but I still think it can be better still, and we can increase on it more than where it is right now.
Oh yeah, I think it could definitely do better. I'm just enjoying the fact that, again, we're seeing what 50-60% of the kits. That's way more than the previous era. Previous era
Before
was
it was
just
kind of dumb, right?
Yeah, so I'm actually
Like,
enjoying getting to see a little bit more out of these characters. Granted, there's still going to be theory crafting, still, because these guys are going to come out. And are you really going to want to take Luthen away from Saw? Are you really going to want to tear that apart? How are these Rebel fighters going to fit in compared to the Saw team? So it is still going to be a lot of figuring out, but it's nice to see how they expect it to work a bit. It'll be different once we get like Andor, because he's going to be the leader. But it's nice to see now.
That's completely random from what you're talking about. But that was one thing I wish they would have kind of done differently, is that they would have made almost all the units to go to help Saw. So like Clea, and then I'm forgetting the other two names.
Vel,
Anyways.
Clea, and Vel are the only ones I remember.
Okay, the three characters, they go and help Luthen or Saw, so that he only needs Luthen. So it's just the five of them. So you don't have to steal Krex away from Phoenix. You don't have to steal Drogon away from Leia. Like, it's just already a finished team. And then Andor could just go help Mon Mothma. That way, the two teams that were always fighting over the same characters can function independently. But I feel like we're just making this situation worse. We're like, oh, brand new team. Also, no Luthen, so both of you suck now. Like,
yeah. Whereas in the last era, we said, and I know it was frustrating because we had to learn 7 in 3 hours, but it was, hey, you have 7 new teams because we just lifted 7 teams. And I love when they do that. I just don't love that they didn't give us enough time to learn it.
Right.
Whereas now they're saying, oh, these teams are no longer relevant, but now you have these new teams, which I don't necessarily like.
And I mean, it was beneficial because these are teams that were like not even being used. Like, who uses Pelp anymore?
Yes.
Is once Starkiller was taken off of Palpatine, that team was dead.
Yeah. And I love when they do that. I love lifters. They just
So
didn't give us the time to experiment.
here's a lifter, but again, as you said, there wasn't that experimentation. You knew your teams. You knew that Vader was going with Palpatine and just figuring out the couple pieces. Maybe you knew IG-90 was going in with Afra. You knew all these things coming in, so you were able to be like, okay, here's the team. This is what it's gonna do, as far as you know. But it would have been nice to test. It would have been nice to have a little bit of time in arena to see how these people were playing out. Maybe like, I don't know, have a go battle, or I don't know, just something to where we could actually like try these people out.
Yeah.
And not 3 hours, because I had 3 minutes to come home and set everything up.
No, that I mean, again, that wasn't fun to do. There are, I could spend the next 3 hours talking about the pluses and minuses of this current era that we're doing and how the era is situated and what I like and I don't like. But then I'll be very grumpy tomorrow morning when my body says, "Hey, 5:45, you're up. I don't care that you had 2 hours of sleep." Um, I do think that there are some positives to the way that they've handled things now. I think that there's a lot more that they can be doing, and I think that one of the major problems is, when I spend $300 on a character in the old system, I've spent my money on that character. I get that character. I play with that character. When I spend $300 on eras, I'm advancing eras. And now 3 months later, when eras get reset and I'm starting from the beginning again, it feels kind of crappy. And that's accented by the fact that the gameplay starts over again too. And the game goes back to being boring again, and it goes back to not having strategy again, and it goes back to being a 10-second thing again.
Mm.
And I feel like that's frustrating me, and it's frustrating a lot of players.
Calvin, question: did you well on the last era, and are you welling on this current one?
No and no. I don't. I don't know when I'll shell out a lot of crystals again. I mean, it would have to be another variant of Jar Jar. Like that'll be
Darth Jar Jar.
yeah, a Darth Jar Jar, Senator Jar Jar, Pump Day Jar Jar, like whatever it takes.
A Jar Jar, any Jar Jar.
Hey, Jar Jar.
What about a jar in a jar named Jar Jar?
Have you seen the picture that Sin posted on our Discord of Jar Jar's jar of Jar Jars?
I've seen that. I feel like I've seen that meme before.
All right, how about we get over to some viewer questions? Oh, real quick before we get to that, Kelvin, again, congrats on the baby. I know I said it back when the news was broken, but how's the baby doing?
She's doing really well. Unfortunately, we think she got whatever sickness that me and my wife had.
Oh,
So that's the first. That's been kind of a learning curve for everyone. But she's in high spirits. She talks a lot, even in the current sickness. So that's really cute. I feel like Jar Jar is pretty easy to get because it's a pretty simple syllable. So I'll keep working at that.
Can you just picture Calvin there with his daughter going, Jar, 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 Jar?
please tell me she's got like a Gungan hoodie or something, like a onesie.
Her bath towel is like a Yoda or Grogu hoodie, and then actually one of my viewers, he's probably won't listen to this because he doesn't play the game anymore, but Bane got her like a crochet Jar Jar, so that was really cute.
Oh, that is adorable. Bane
So
quit.
she's, I believe so, yeah, yeah. He's in my friends list. He hasn't played in like 187 days or something.
Oh, yeah. Didn't he
Man,
give Bones one of his accounts?
he did. He did.
He was unloading.
Bane's 88.
It's 88.
That's what he named it. It's Bane's 88.
Oh, my God. Of course he did.
We
Thanks for
lost,
asking.
we lost a lot of players. Berm just left.
In the last week, I have been surprised because, when we talk about people that we lost, and I've talked about this before, the game isn't necessarily losing players so much as it's losing veterans, because a lot of new money is coming into the game, but a lot of veterans are becoming disenfranchised and disheartened with the game. In the
mhm.
last 2 weeks, in terms of content creators, Berm is gone, Stero is gone, Rabid Beaver's co-host just was lost. Pico Burrito just left the game. I had 2 people in my guild say like we might not play very much longer. This is the first time for me personally that I am seeing an exodus of veterans that I personally know. And it's frustrating because I know like
Um,
it's because of the changes making it really frustrating for players who have been here a long time.
Bones actually said earlier on his stream that he's trying to phase out too.
Bones has been saying that for years.
It's just so, this is a game. It's a mobile game that thrives because of the community that we've built. That's what makes this game tolerable. Is this strong community we have. And big kudos to, you, Calvin, for helping to build it and being the voice that you've been, to Egnards, to, Arnold, and all these content creating veterans that get us all together, and then you got your guilds too, and we all finally get a voice and we all get so close. And then when you see all these players, again, as you said, all these veterans that are leaving, it's demoralizing and it's tough to see.
The encouraging part is we have Shadow, and to Egnard's point, when we do have people leave, we have new people come in. So like, I mean, there are friendships within the community that I've made. I would go as far as to say in the last year that weren't in the other 7 years. So
Yeah.
it is. I'm not saying we can't be sad, but at the same time, there is still really good parts of the community coming in.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, if they take Shadow, because I've gotten Shadow's my little anime friend. If you take Shadow and you take my Lady Geek away from me, it's gonna be issues.
I don't know if Lady Geek will ever quit. I think Lady Geek is here forever too. Knock on wood, of course, because she is one of my favorites. But I think she's here for forever. She's here for good.
Yeah, you can't take my Lady Geek away from me. But let's get on over to some viewer questions. Okay, question number 1 comes from Bayou Bazinga. How do I get notifications on the live stream? Great question. If you go to the Discord, again, the link is in the Linktree, Club 38. Go over to the roles section. You can click on the emotes. We got a bunch of different emotes for Club 38. My notifications and Kate's. That's just click on the notification. It'll give you the role, and you're good to go. And then when it's pinged, you'll get notified. So Bodhi, question for Sarah. Unfortunately, Sarah couldn't make it, but we could try to answer this one. Canadian curling and cheating. What's going on? I thought Canadians were meant to be polite. Calvin, we always start with guests.
I barely know what curling is because I used it one time to make fun of Canada Fet, as he said that he was picking up his kids from curling practice or something like that. About all I got.
That's hilarious.
I'm gonna be honest. I was talking to my wife about the Olympics a few days ago, and how when we were growing up, I don't know if in your areas like the Olympics were a big deal. And I remember back in the 90s, it was the Nagano Olympics, the little Izzy character, the little blue guy, and they made like action figures of him, and I had all of them, and I remember watching and being so excited for all these sports that I have never watched before in my life. I give zero shits about the Olympics, and nobody in my world or ecosphere cares about them anymore. Um, I just find it funny that the Canadian team told the Swedish team to fuck off. That is great to me, and that's all I know about this controversy.
I don't know anything about it. I think it's hilarious. The fact that I don't know. I know a bunch of Canadians. I live 2 hours either way. Like if I go that way, I am 2 hours from Montreal. If I go that way, I'm 2 hours from Toronto. I am middle, 2 hours to the border. And I used to have this thing with a Canadian. They can be kind of brutal. Really nice people, but they could be. They have their like streak when you get them going.
They hide it. They hide it well.
They do. They really do. The Canadians were cheating. They're touching the stones with their fingers after they release. I honestly don't know much about curling.
The only thing I know about curling is that it's the beer and hot wings of sports, right? Like you don't need to like you could drink beer and you could have 20 hot wings and you could be a curler. You don't need to be in the best physical shape. It is the dad bod of Olympic sports. That's really my only understanding of it.
Should we start a team? Calvin, you want to be the captain?
Curling team?
It's just because my dad bod.
I was gonna say, do you notice how I mentioned it as the dad bod game, and then he was like, "Hey, by the way, you two guys."
I mean, you're the only dad here, so by process of elimination.
Name me team captain. I better get a good leadership ability for this though. None of this flat defense crap.
What do we get a cheating alt or something?
Sure.
Oh man, we got everybody popping into chat now. And welcome in, Lady Geek. There's my girl. Okay, this next one comes from Vlad Sander. Literary question. Oh god, I am not doing very good with literary right now. Fantasy versus sci-fi. What attracts you to each? Who is your favorite author and why? Calvin?
So science fiction, I feel like we're just boring to it. I'm very like classically, like my dad was 7 years old when A New Hope came out, so he was born all the way through the original trilogy, and then I was essentially just born all the way through the prequel trilogy. So I don't even know if I can pinpoint like a point in sci-fi that I like. I don't even know if I like sci-fi. I might just like Star Wars. Like there's some other science fiction-y stuff that I think is cool, but I don't know. Like I don't. No offense, but I don't like care about Star Trek or Battlestar Galactica or whatever else is out there. I'm sure they're fine. Fantasy though, I don't know. Fantasy's been drawing me in more and more, and like I don't even. This is gonna sound so stupid, but I think my favorite fantasy author is someone that I've never read any of his books. I've just seen him speak a lot, and I find him fantastic. And that's Brandon Sanderson.
Okay.
Like he's written the Mistborn series.
Why does that sound familiar?
He's a very well-known fantasy author.
The Mistborn. Why did that series sound familiar?
You've probably actually seen a lot of the his character. I've seen a lot of his characters' names in people's names, or like the Stormlight Archive. Like that's another one. Like Kaladin was a name that I've seen in Galaxy of Heroes a lot. Anyways, I've seen him speak a lot, and I think he's absolutely fascinating. I've not had the time to read any of his books, so that seems kind of like a dumb answer, but that's where I'm going to land.
Okay, though.
I've talked about this a couple times between Three Scoundrels and maybe here. I don't remember where else, but I struggle when it comes to sci-fi and fantasy. I really struggle to read either genre just because I feel like a lot of authors they use the stupidest naming conventions. And I don't expect characters in a fantasy novel to be named like Eric or Steven. But they want to build up their own way of doing things. So they just put random letters together. And if it doesn't make sense in my head or resonate, I'm never going to remember it. And if I can't remember the name of every character or the town names, then I struggle to give a shit about
Gonna
the
drive me
characters
crazy.
or the town names. And so I think a lot of fantasy struggles with that. I think a lot of sci-fi struggles with it. If I had to choose between the two, I generally am going to be reading sci-fi a little bit more. I'm a big Andy Weir fan. Huge, huge, huge fan. I followed him back in the days of, and this is funny because of my name, but it's not anything to do with it. His short story, The Egg, which I recommend to everybody.
Is that where it came
I've been
from?
following. That is not where it came from, but it is the best short story I've ever read. And I recommend it to every single person, and it's out there on the internet for free. But he did, The Martian. He did Project Hail Mary, which is going to be a major motion picture. This is not an advertisement. I'm not getting paid money. Artemis. I just like his writing style. It's very sarcastic. It's very fun. It's more down to earth. So I like reading his stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
Who's
This.
the author?
Go ahead, Calvin.
Who was the author again?
Andy Weir.
Okay. You said Artemis. I thought you were talking about
Artemis.
another author who wrote Artemis Fowl.
No, not
Oh,
Artemis
yeah.
Fowl. No,
Kid
no.
book series, but I was actually very fond of. But I would say it's a different author.
Yeah. So Vlad knows that I'm a big reader. That's where this question is mainly coming from. If I have to choose between sci-fi and fantasy, 100%. And honestly, this is going probably more of a situation for Egnards' wife over Egnards. I'm a big fantasy romance reader.
Yep. So is she.
Big time fantasy romance reader. Sci-fi, I'm okay with sci-fi, but I love my fantasy. I don't know. I grew up fantasy, like just these vampires and werewolves and fairies and dragons and all this badass like fantasy world stuff. Like that's what draws me to fantasy. Science fiction, I don't care. So like outside of Star Wars, I don't need the robots. I don't need the space. Like Star Trek doesn't interest me. Many space movies actually bore me. But I don't know. Sometimes you throw in a couple laser swords, and it's interesting again. I don't know.
They trick you.
Yeah.
Oh, this looks like Star Wars.
Not darn it. It's Spaceballs. What the hell? But so I guess that's what draws me to it. As far as authors go, I remember this is what I actually found out about Egnards' wife was I got talking to him in chat during brunch, and I brought up Fourth Wing, and he immediately was like, "Yep, yeah."
She has all the books. constantly reading them. I know she has all of them. If you name them, I might not know them all, but she has all of those same series. She listens to all that same stuff. She reads all of that same stuff. It is huge right now. The fantasy romance novels.
So my favorite of all time is Sarah Moss. She's really good at her writing. She's really good at like her connection to her characters, and she does really well at that. For beginners, I would say read Throne of Glass. It's a young adult, but it doesn't seem young adult like at all. And then also is another one of my favorites being Jennifer Armentrout. She is a fantastic writer. And of course, Rebecca Yarros, big shout out to her with Fourth Wing. Fourth Wing is probably one of the best books I've ever read. with just how like every chapter is like a not that kind of Dragon Raiden Braves fan, but yes, Dragon Raiden. Um, she like it's one of those books that you start it, and every single chapter from chapter one is a cliffhanger. It's just like you're constantly getting hooked into the story, and it is fantastic. And I swear to God, Ag, one of these days I'm gonna get you on this podcast, and I'm gonna ask for your wife to come on, and she's gonna be right behind you, and we're gonna get the
Listen,
whole.
she's been on brunch once. She went on brunch. I don't know if you were there for that brunch. I did the one chip challenge. I bought one. I said I was going to do it, and she said she's not a morning person. Sunday morning, she doesn't wake up before 11 a.m. She was like, "Wake me up when you're about to do it. I need to watch," because she just likes to see me in pain. And she sat in that corner of the room back there on a stool because we only had one chair at the time. And 5 minutes later, she left because I have a high pain tolerance and a high spice tolerance. So she got bored. She's like, "This isn't fun. You're talking Star Wars things. You don't look like you're crying. You're not doubled over." So some people did get to see her on stream, but she is not somebody that is generally on camera. So good luck. Have fun. Maybe one day she will do it.
How would that work? Braves fan just
But
gifted a sub to Violet Soaringale.
how would that work?
Yeah, do we have a? I don't. How? Who does it go to? Because we don't have a Violet Soaringale that I know
I don't know. You got lurkers in your chat.
of. Apparently,
Everybody's got lurkers. Not everybody wants to talk.
yeah, but that's just so specific. Being a Violet Soaringale, I love it. Thanks, thanks for the gifted sub. Uh, how about you, Calvin? What about Mrs. Awesome? What does she like fantasy romance too? What she read?
She doesn't. She has done. I don't think fantasy romance. She has read a lot of romance novels before. Doesn't have a lot
Does
of
she
time
have
for right now, given
Does she have the Quinn app on her phone?
no.
Okay.
I don't say that with that much confidence because this is the first I'm hearing of it. Given the context, I think I know what it is, but
It's basically audio porn for women. It's a big thing
yeah,
right
that's
now.
what I thought. No, she actually likes, and there was a specific genre for it that I'm not well informed on. But there's a specific genre of anime that's supposed to be like more rom-com-y. What's that called? Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
I don't do anime very much. Maybe Allie.
Shadow. We could use you right now.
Because you know how like there's different like subcategories of anime.
Yeah,
Like Naruto and Dragon Ball Z are like one type.
I know that. I think it's generally just called rom com. Yeah, Darth. There
That's
you
what
go. Yeah, Shadow
says,
just
yeah.
said just rom com. That's what I was
felt
gonna
like there
say
was
too.
more so Naruto and Dragon Ball are shonen, right? Like there's a word like that for the rom com stuff. Sorry.
I know generally there's like harems and stuff, and you get like a group of people.
Yeah, I don't
Rom-com
remember.
anime are often classified primarily shoujo or shonen. I don't know. That's what Google says.
What does ChatGPT say?
Please, she might like shoujo. Like that actually might be the one she likes. According to Google AI, it says targeted at teen girls focused on romance, drama, and emotion.
There it is.
She watches a wider spectrum than that. Like she did watch all of Naruto with me, and she's like seeing Jujutsu Kaisen and
There's Shadow.
No, so
that's my
she's
jam.
more on the anime side of things than like fantasy. Like she doesn't even like Lord of the Rings is about as far as fantasy she'll go, and to me those things are about as good as fantasy gets. So that'll tell you about it.
Is she into Star Wars or?
Yeah, she likes it. She's not to the level that I'm in. She's more on the Marvel side of things when it comes to that.
Oh
We had a
shit!
really fun. I mean, it's still kind of true. But like our, oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, that I understand your comment now.
Wow.
Um,
Um, big shout out. Oh, one quick, Calvin. Big shout out to Shadow for the level 4 hype train. We got 15 gifted subs. Thank you, Shadow. I really appreciate that.
Shadow gonna shadow.
No, yeah. So we had this cool thing where whenever a new Marvel series would come out on Disney Plus, she would kind of like wake me up to watch it, and vice versa for Star Wars because we both are interested in them, but we have our own leanings.
The 10. So congrats to Owie Hero, Ryrick 99, Egnards, R Santander 2015, Baby Yoda Eyes, Luke W, The Lost Swamp Rat, Beku Bazinga, Kelvin Awesome, and Adam 452.
Big Shadow.
You are the man, Shadow. Got Owie and Romper. Yeah, you got a pretty good you got a pretty good array there. You got Egnards, Kelvin, Womper, and Owie.
That's all. It was basically the whole Swigga community right there.
And Baby Yoda Eyes. Yeah,
All
pretty
10 of
much.
us.
That's about it. The only thing we're missing is Bane.
Right, P.
All right, and then the final question. This one's a little bit of a mouthful. From Darth Link, aka Shadow. Goats, I love you. This is the best collab. Calvin, my first goat, please tell me why TB and Conquest are the worst modes ever made. Oh, we're not done. Egnards, my other goat. These modes are trash, but can we get another revolution into getting the SR3 and era battles? I'll stand on the front lines for you. And Allie, you might need to join goat status for making this collab happen. But easy question, what's your favorite anime? All right, so I guess we could break this into parts. Calvin, why TV and Conquest are the worst modes ever made?
TB, I don't even know if I would say it's the worst mode. I just think this current iteration does not value actually playing the mode. Like they put so little into CMs and they put so much into deploy, which I guess ultimately is probably a good thing for me. I just don't I don't interact with it. I deploy, I do my SMs, and then I'm done. Like I think I did CMs once or sorry, for like 2 months when my officers asked me to because we were gonna miss a star if I didn't. And then other than that I just didn't interact. And I actually kind of like Conquest, so I'm not sure what to do with you there for.
Shadow hates everything except for GAC. And if he's losing in GAC, he hates GAC.
Screw this game.
It's a daily Shadow crash out, especially on Hell Week.
Egnards, your part is
Yeah. So I mean, listen, disappointed Daddy Egnards, right? Like there are things that I'm disappointed in right now, and I've got something coming up tomorrow morning for you, Shadow. So don't you worry. They call it, what did somebody said it on my video? DDE, disappointed Daddy Egnards, is coming back tomorrow morning. But you know, my whole thing is being reasonably disappointed and being realistic with things. SR3, I do think it's kind of a shit that it's not out already. I know that there are a lot of people that did R9 Hondo pretty early, expecting it to be in a reasonable time frame, and the fact that we don't have any communication on it yet is kind of ridiculous. When it comes to era battles, though, this goes back to what I was talking about a year ago, which is, you know, we're out of the era of ROI and we're into the era of rebate. And that's just essentially the fact that, hey, you're not going to get a full return on your investment, but you are going to use those characters. So maybe don't bring everything to tier 8 if you're not going to use those characters. But if you're going to use 5 out of the 6 of them, it might be worth it for you. I'm not actually mad at their decision to change the way era battles work from 12-12 to 6-6.
Mhm.
But I am really mad, and we talked about this already, about the fact that it took myself and Scribe pulling it out of Meathead to find out that that was the answer, and the fact that it still hasn't been officially communicated. I cede the rest of my time. That's all I got.
Okay. And I got the easy question. What is my favorite anime? Oh god, there's a lot of good ones. I guess if you go for longevity, it's Dragon Ball Z or Sailor Moon. As you can see by my I got my Sailor Moon back there. I'm a big Sailor Moon fan. Um Lately though, Secrets of the Silent Witch has become one of my all-time favorites just because I love like her awkwardness and just her shyness and how how she has like this crippling social anxiety, and it's just I feel that to like a big level, which is weird because like as somebody with social anxiety, the fact that I do this show and I talk to people online, it I don't know. Are you guys I like that? Do you guys have like awkward social anxiety and you guys just work well streaming?
Um, I mean, I obviously, I'm a one-to-one in schools. I talk to people all day. I own a dojo, so I'm talking to people all night. So I'm used to public speaking, but I also am very much an introverted, like shut up and leave me alone kind of person.
Mm-hmm.
I will get up in front of a room and I will talk to strangers. I'll talk to 100 strangers and be completely fine. But I also would prefer not to. So I do see the irony in the fact that I do like reaching out to people online and talking to them and finding out their story. But I don't really have a problem, having a conversation or talking to people or getting in front of crowds. It hasn't really ever been too big of a deal for me.
I'm a social butterfly, so yeah. I
He
like to
looks
talk.
like he talks to people in the grocery store. He's in line and he's like, "Tell me about your life."
If they'll talk back, I'll talk to them.
Oh man,
Those people.
I don't know. I feel like sometimes I'll be on like even in here, I'll just get awkward. Like nobody will really say anything, and I'll just be like talking, announcing what I'm doing in the game, and that's just it. Like I just I don't know. It's
I
like
don't think that's uncommon. If that, I don't know if that's any comfort or not, but I think a lot of people resonate with that.
and then like I'll go to log out, like I'll go to raid out and everything. I'll be like, oh yeah, thanks, bye. Like
Yeah, I'm an
I
Irish
just
goodbye person too. So I always have been. I don't see the need to like. I'm very much like I'm out. No, my family is not a family of lingerers. My wife's family is a family of lingerers. I hate it. It pisses me off. I'll be at her parents' house and they'll say goodbye at 7 p.m.
mm-hmm.
And then at 8 p.m. they'll say goodbye again. And then at 8:15 she has to go to the bathroom.
Is your wife
And then at
Italian?
8:30 they're saying goodbye again. No, she's not at all. I'm Italian. Um, but they'll say goodbye for 3 hours, and I'm like, I will sit on the couch and be like, just let me know when you're actually ready to leave.
Because
So
I'm the
that's a lot
same
of
way,
cultures.
but I'm pretty sure that's like an Italian trait too.
It is,
Like
and that's why I think I grew up in an Italian household, and I think that that's why I pushed so far against it. As I was like, no, I hate this.
because I'm totally that way, and I know Kate. She's from an Italian household too. I don't know if she's. I don't know if she's the same way, but I'm one of those people that like. I don't know. I like. I'm awkward to get out and talk to, but when I do, I can't shut up.
My wife is the same way. She has huge social anxiety. I call it what is the word? Anticipation anxiety, because she will have this crippling anxiety when it comes to like going somewhere. But once she's
Yes.
there,
Yep.
she will talk to everybody, and she'll
Yep.
be like, "Please, we can't leave. Can we stay for another hour? Can we stay for another 2 hours?" And I'll be like, "You were in the car crying 3 hours ago, and now you want to stay here, and I thought I was leaving now." So I understand it. It's just not my experience.
Yep. I'm with her there. I'm with her. I totally feel that. To like, but I've always
Mhm.
called it like introverted extrovert.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm the flip side of that, right? Like an extroverted introvert. Like I can be out there and I talk to people, but I also just want you to shut up at the
It,
same time.
it's like I have this battery, right? And it drains when I'm out and I'm talking to people. It drains, and when it's empty, I need to be home and I need to recharge, and then I have a little bit of autism. I need to be around my comfort things, and that's what charges me. My video games, my books, my like. I just need that quiet time to recharge.
I just need a drink. Like,
And not you, Shadow. I enjoy talking to you. I enjoy talking to people, and it's okay because it's over a phone, so I don't have to pick up and answer immediately. I could enjoy my show and then answer, and it's like comfortable. When I'm home, I'm comfortable. But if I'm out and I'm talking to people, I have the social battery and it just drains.
yeah.
But it is 10:56. We do have a hard 11 o'clock shut off. So we could start wrapping this up. Kelvin, do you want to pimp out your stuff and give your closing
Arguments?
arguments?
All my arguments out. Yeah, you guys can find me on YouTube, Calvin Awesome, Twitch, Calvin_awesome. I'll probably be streaming GAC once it's back up every, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday at roughly 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's been in pretty big flux ever since my daughter came around, but they usually happen those nights.
Shadow wants you to pimp him.
I was about to respond,
Okay,
Shadow. You're too precious. You're too precious to be pimped. I'm not pimping you.
Hey, Storm.
All right, and Egg.
Yeah, listen, I stream on Sunday mornings, right? Like 7 in the morning to like 10 in the morning. Come join me for brunch or join Big Boat. Either one. I don't care. That is what it is. If you know me, you know me. If you don't, you don't. And yeah, that's it. Big Boat 777. Go find him on Twitch.
All right, and if you aren't already, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that sub button. Every sub is a big fu to Fat Phil. So hit that sub button over on YouTube. Let's get to 500. Let's take our Wampa to R10, 1,000, and I could get Celiac Sarah to do karaoke. Maybe I could even try to see communicate with Egg and try to get his wife in
I'll do
here.
karaoke. Shit.
Yeah.
my
Okay.
wife.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You want to do karaoke with us? I was gonna say maybe if we hit like a certain number, we could get a podcast episode with Sarah, Kate, and maybe like Egg's wife, and we could do like a special book edition of Club
Listen, if you can
38.
get her on camera, I'll be very, very impressed. I just as a final note, I just upgraded my webcam, and my wife works back there, and I asked her if she wanted my old webcam. I was like, "Do you want this for work or anything?" She's like, "Oh, great, yeah, awesome. It'll be great for Teams or whatever." And I asked her yesterday morning, "Oh, did you set up the webcam?" And it was sitting on the side of her desk, and she's like, "No, I hate it. It's too HD. People can see my face. This is the worst." I'm using my onboard camera. So that's her experience with webcam. She's like, I'd rather people see the blurry image than
You know what? We'll even
than
put
see
the
the high definition image.
we'll even put her just Discord logo. She doesn't even need to be on camera. Just a little
Yeah,
Discord logo right over here on this screen.
Yeah, her little Quinn logo.
Right over that one. Put that right up there. But again, if you aren't, join the Discord. It's in the Linktree /Club38. Again, in there is the link to the Discord. Make sure you get the Club 38 role, my role, whoever you want to be notified for whenever we go live. And if you've liked what you've seen, make sure you hit that follow button and that sub to be notified whenever we go live. Also in that Discord is again, my Twitch, Kate's Twitch, my YouTube, the Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts. So you will have ample amounts of time to catch the show, even if you don't watch it live, which we do go live every Tuesday about 9 o'clock EST. So make sure you check us out. We are always a fun time. So with that, we will be ending the recording now. So thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you guys around the hollow table.